get that one for you as well.
Okay, so let's take shoulders through that way. Oh, welcome to Client Talk with me. Thanks for sitting down with me today and talking with me about your experience. Paul, tell me a little bit about yourself and your career, and what you do on a daily basis for your work.
Yeah. So I work for DB Schenker. It's a German-owned logistics company in the freight forwarding industry. And what I do is I manage our CRM and our performance management. And I've been there for about 3 years now. And prior to that, I was with another large logistics company based in Atlanta.
Jacksonville is a pretty big hub with Jacksport and the railroad, etc. So let's just jump right in. What drew you to update your headshot now, and how do you picture that fitting into your career?
Yeah, so I'd never had a professional headshot taken before. And as I've progressed in my career, I've reached an area where having a great representation of me online became pivotal and of extreme importance. How I see that fitting into my career is my headshot speaks for me when I can't. And having a great picture that represents who I am and the type of person that I am through your work with in inputting my personality into the picture helps tremendously when paired with a revamped resume, so that I'm putting as best of my foot possible forward. So it can help me in front of potential new managers or new directors, new VPs that are interested in promoting me within my current company, or maybe someone at an external company that may be.
What did you feel was missing from your online images or online profiles?
What was missing was just an accurate representation of me that I was comfortable with. So all the pictures that I had were just pictures I took on my iPhone. And, when you're trying to take a picture and you don't understand the technical details behind it, sometimes doesn't come out how you hope it would. And, it was good for what I needed it to be. Just, hey, this is a picture of me. But with trying to move into a more senior role at either my current company or another company, became that much more important that I had a really good picture of myself to share with potential employers.
So that kind of leads me into thinking about your experience from the first time that we connect. Well, we connected on LinkedIn a long time ago, but from the first time we chatted before you booked your photo session to when you saw the final retouched images. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, super easy process. I looked for something that I can do pretty much entirely online. In such a digital world, I didn't want to, make a couple dozen phone calls to get really good pictures of myself. And, everything you had was available online, from the pictures to the process of booking the appointment with you. And then throughout, it was just easy communication back and forth of, this is what I'm trying to get out of it. What I liked, one of the questions you asked me during it was, with the pictures, what am I hoping to accomplish? And that is what helped me understand, well, even internally, why am I getting updated pictures? I knew I wanted them, but I really didn't process exactly why. And it helped me see the value in what I was getting, at the cost of the pictures, versus if this helps me achieve a new job or a promotion that increases my salary 10, 20, 30%, it easily covers the cost of a photo headshot package. Up until when I got the pictures, it was just super easy communication, almost entirely through the medium that I was comfortable with. And it made it that much more exciting when I did get the pictures. And I was traveling, so I was able to just pull them right up on my phone and download them, look at them this way. And on a phone, you can only see so much, but it looked amazing there. And then by the time I was able to sit in front of my computer, it looked even better. So,
as of today, where have you used your headshot and why?
So probably the most obvious place that most clients use it is I updated my LinkedIn almost immediately.
I saw that. I
And
love that.
our internal company profiles, I updated them. My boss actually commented on them and saying, "Hey, I really love your new picture." And I wound up sending him the lot that you had sent to me, and he provided some feedback on all of them. He said they were great pictures, and I asked for his feedback on them because he's a very good trusted mentor of mine. And he said, based on your experience level, I recommend this picture, but all of them look great. I also updated my so with a lot of the nonprofit work that I do, we use WhatsApp. So I was able to update my WhatsApp with I would say, my very professional picture that we had taken with a tie.
So tell me a little bit about your experience with the mentor and how they felt your images worked for you, and
Yeah.
where they would work for you.
Yeah. So, I kind of alluded to this earlier when you were asking, or when I was talking about making me feel comfortable and making my personal brand alive in the pictures. And we took some fun ones with a tie off and stuff like that. I'm a pretty more fun-loving guy, um, and we took one that was a little more serious. And when talking with him, that wasn't the best representation of me. It's the big smile, bright colors, maybe not as flamboyant colors, but just bright colors. And we picked the one that best represented my personality. And picture. I think they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, and the pictures that we took were just a very accurate representation of me.
What would you tell your fellow professionals out in the world who are sitting on the fence about getting a new headshot done?
Yeah, I see that every day at work when I'm looking at other people's images, and sometimes they're, pictures that were taken on like an iPhone 3GS, maybe from 15 or 20 years ago. And, when you compare it against, my own or maybe someone else that has a newer one, there's a clear uh, branding when it comes to that. When I see someone with a really old headshot, or maybe one that doesn't look as clean, and someone may interpret that as they don't really care as much. It comes on more as maybe an online hygiene or an online presence, where it's important to have uh, yourself represented online in a modern way. I think you nailed it. It's an investment. It's not necessarily an expense, and finding the right person is just as important as the headshot itself. I guess it was an added benefit of selecting you was the network that comes along with you. Not only are you an amazing photographer, but you also have shot a lot of higher up executives that, if when you share my profile and branding on your social media pages, that now exposes me to executives that may.
And I'm going to go back to what you said just now about selecting the right photographer. And that's also an important consideration for anybody that's looking to get headshots done. Make sure you've got a photographer that understands where you're going, where you want to go with it, and not just a headshot. So,
Yeah, you can go to J.C. Penney and get a headshot, but it's not going to be anywhere as personable or as rewarding as going with you. There's a lot of options, and I'll say anyone can take a picture, but not everybody can take a headshot.
what advice would you have for anybody that feels camera shy or awkward in front of the lens?
I don't really feel camera shy in front of a lens, but for someone that might feel camera shy, it's kind of a dual effort on both the photographer and the person is to become super comfortable. I actually spoke to you about when we were taking the pictures, and I picked clothes that I really liked wearing, or that were really comfortable, or that I knew I felt really confident in, and all of that helped me feel even better into the experience that we were doing. So, having the dog there for me at least made me comfortable, but also wearing clothes that I enjoyed wearing and that I was comfortable in.
As you know, when clients book with me, they get a lot of resources, and a lot of those we've designed to help take away the fear of the unknown. What to wear. That's probably the biggest question. What do I wear? And so taking that fear out of the equation, and then my ability to make people feel super comfortable in front of the camera. And I don't know how I developed that skill, but I have a skill in that end. Thanks for answering those questions for me. That's great. So one last question for you. In one word, describe your experience getting your new headshots done.
It's difficult to put the entire experience in one word. I would say just one word is awesome. I could use a ton of other words, but the whole experience was awesome.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for helping us out with the client talk today, Paul. We really appreciate it, and we'll hope to see you again soon. And definitely appreciate your support on LinkedIn as well.
Of course, Chris. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay, that looks great.